calls me.
Saturday, had 2 long punts and then a nice inside 20. Just what it's like to have a first game with a new snapper, a new holder, all this kind of thing.
Yeah, always good to come off to a fresh start, new place, come out swinging. First one got away from me a little bit, but as expected in the first game, just keep building and try to gear up for week 1.
How much was McGahee a part of that versus just having somebody you've worked with, familiarity in the court game?
Yeah, I spent 4 good years with T-Mac in New York. He's an awesome coach, gets the guys to play, and what I like most about him is he's an unbelievable person. He's a great guy to go to work with every day. He's positive and builds his players up, and that's a guy you want to be around and the guy you want to play for.
Any specific challenges to punting at Raymond James Stadium versus like other places that you punted?
Every stadium has its quirky things about it. They all have some things you got to pay attention to, whether it be the wind, the rain. But as it goes, anywhere we go, it's always being able to adapt and adjust.
I'm going to ask you about the 92, just how you came to that, and if there's any saving us to the number.
With the new number rule, a lot of these skill guys in single digits. I wore 92 in college. Figured it was something familiar to go back to. I know it probably looks funny, but that's the way it's going these days with the number rule. But I'm comfortable in it. I know, like I said, I know it looks funny, but I happen to like it a little bit.
Just a random number in college, or did it mean something then?
It meant something. When I was in college, I was a walk-on. I was a walk-on kicker, turned punter later on. And it was kind of one of those, hey, what number do you want? How's 92 sound? Not your first choice, but as a walk-on punter, I knew my role, and I kind of carried that, and it helped me become the punter and player that I am. Just another chip on the shoulder and something to go to work for.
It's like the holy grail for a punter. What's your favorite moment as a punter that you've had?
I've had quite a few moments. Playing in Buffalo this last year with the Broncos in a playoff game. I'm from upstate New York, so I had a lot of family, friends. Everybody's Bills fans up there. So to put together a decent game in that stadium in those conditions in a playoff game, be able to throw a fake punt there was really cool for me to do it in front of the home crowd.
That's not something you want to aspire to as a punter, but you have 18 career tackles as a punter. I think it's the most of any active punter in the league. Just obviously, you don't want people to get to you, but the pride you take in being able to get guys when they get to you.
Yeah, I think you said it best. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But, like you also said, it's a pride thing. The punt play is something that we are judged based on. The net punt's a huge number. And, I think any way I can keep that to a minimum, if that means sticking my nose in there from time to time, I'm happy to do it. But, yeah, it's like you said, I don't know how great of a stat it is, but happy to have it.
The leadership of this team, whether it's Baker, Mike, Levante, just kind of understanding what this whole team is about.
Yeah, the vets on this team are unbelievable. Not only some of the greatest players I've been around, like you said, Baker, Mike, Levante, Vita, the list goes on. But again, how I mentioned with T-Mac, they're great players, but they're unbelievable people. And the way that builds a culture in a locker room is it makes going to work easy because they're guys who are always building people up and also let you know when it's wrong, which is how the best teams are. They're led by the vets in the room, and they do an unbelievable job. And I know I'm new here, but I'm looking forward to seeing how they do that throughout the season.
You understand how happy Todd is to have you here. Punting was so bad.
Well, I'm happy to be here. I got a job to do like everybody else, and I'm really looking forward to playing for this coach and this team and this organization, and just put my best foot forward.
Tampa.
Free agency is a wild process. Being a good football team and being back with T-Mac were definitely factors that helped my decision. But free agency, like I said, free agency is wild, and you kind of just got to play it out and see how it goes. But Tampa was definitely high on my radar.
The key to be as consistent as you've been throughout your career, as we've seen, it's a very demanding position, so is place kicking. But for you, what have you done to maintain that?
Just understanding the position and the role that I'm in. It's something we all punting. You want to be perfect. It's near impossible to be perfect. I mean, you could always look at a football field and say there's more yards to be had. If you don't put every ball out at the one, then there's room to gain. So it's learning that's what's realistic and what's not, and allowing yourself a little bit, not slack, but a little bit of understanding of what's good and what's acceptable. And never too high, never too low. Just always staying somewhere in the middle and putting your best foot forward.
Become one of the most accurate kickers in the game. I imagine, anytime you come in, you got to hold your battery and all of that. What have you taken from him that has got you guys in the team here?
Chase is awesome, and I know I'm going to keep feeding this, but unbelievable player, but a better person. And being able to go to work and learn and work with somebody like him, he makes everybody around him better, and it's been pretty seamless so far, and I expect it to be the same. But going to work with a guy like him makes my job easy.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
What's up, guys? Good.
Seen last year was a struggle at Riley's position a little bit. What have you observed about him in particular, and just what's it like to be part of a group that has that kind of consistency that you brought?
Yeah, it's been great getting to know Riley, and then just from a football perspective, he's a true professional. And he's done it for 10 years now, so he knows the ins and outs and the nuances of day-to-days. So I just think that the confidence that brings me of someone who's done it before, it gives me a little bit of peace.
What's your approach like going into this season? Is it kind of routine as always? Do you mix things up? How do you go about it?
I'm very routine based. T-Mac will tell you all about it. I do the same warm up every time I kick, same stretching routine every time I kick. There's been a couple things I've played with in the off season, but honestly we've had some success the last couple of seasons, so try to keep everything the same.
What's your mental routine? Take us through it. And it doesn't change on pressure kicks or anything. Take us through the routine.
No, I mean it's the same routine every single time. Take 3 steps back, pick a target, take some steps over, take a deep breath, and let it ride.
Coaches say anything to you before you go on, or they leave you alone?
No, T-Mac's one of the best coaches I've ever had. He's there. He knows certain things that he can look for to help me out. But other than that, he just kind of lets me fill it out and lets me do my own thing, and it's been working so far.
Coach Bowles has previously mentioned that you can be a bit of a trash talker. What's your relationship like with him? And is it you giving it to Coach Bowles? Is he giving it back to you?
Yeah, let's go ahead and set the record straight on that one. He starts it. Sometimes I finish it, but yeah, we have a good relationship going. I tell him usually how it goes is we're passing in the hallway. I tell him a dad joke. He rolls his eyes and keeps on walking. So that's usually how it goes.
Your dad joke.
My go-to dad joke. Right now it's not really a joke, unfortunately. I heard last week the guy who created the heat index, he actually passed away last Thursday, I believe it was. Pretty sad. They said he was 73, but he felt like he was 95. So, yeah.
Warren Sapp was notoriously nasty to kickers. Are there anybody on this team that kind of riles you guys up at all?
On the Bucs, no. I mean, the guys, we all like to give each other a hard time, but nothing out of the ordinary. No names come to mind. But on opposing teams, yeah, there's always guys who like to take the pick on the easy target and talk trash to the kicker like I've never heard it before.
What's the worst you've ever heard somebody trying to get in your kitchen?
Gosh, it's all the basic stuff. Hey, don't miss. Hey, you're gonna go left. Hey, watch out, we're coming. Like, they think they're original, but they're not. Not in a while, no.
Cam Little hit from 70. It's just preseason, and there's probably nothing more harmless than an end of first half preseason kick. Is there a number that would be like the longest distance you'd let them send you out there to try and hit?
It really just depends on the day, on the weather, the wind, stuff like that. I mean, in warm-ups years ago in college, I hit from 70. Early on in camp this year, we hit from 64. So it just depends on the day, really.
What's your favorite place to kick? Favorite surface stadium?
I mean, indoor stadiums are always nice just because there's no wind, nothing you have to play. But honestly, just anytime we're out there is a good day to kick. So.
And at Raymond James, I've heard it's been tricky at times.
Yeah, it's really a kick-by-kick basis there. It's kind of just it's generally one direction, and it has and can switch between each kick. But for the most part, you have a good idea through warm-ups which way the wind's going, and then basically for me, I just go out there and whatever I'm feeling in that moment. The flags usually on top of the uprights are pretty true, so I just play what I see there.
Anything else?
Thanks, guys.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Playing center.
Center's great. Gives you a lot of command of the line and allows you to really use some of your brain power rather than just listening.
How much have you snapped before this season, and what's been the biggest adjustment?
Yeah, so snapped a handful in college practices, got a little bit at the East-West Shrine, and then last year throughout practice, I got in the mix a little bit, but I'd say this is really the heaviest dose of center I've had.
Biggest challenge with that, we saw, I think, one maybe like that back, but it's biggest challenges.
Yeah, definitely wish I could have gotten that one back, but I think that it's a position that requires a lot of mental focus. I think that as we saw on Saturday night, if you lose sight of that for a split second, things could go wrong and in a catastrophic way.
Coach Carberry and Coach Papucci been with your development and moving across really all of the offensive line?
Yeah, they've been instrumental. I mean, obviously a lot of movement so far this camp, and those guys are just so knowledgeable, and they really set aside their own time to help you out with whatever you need. So greatly appreciative to them.
Special nuance to keeping the ball dry, right? I'm sure the quarterbacks are always telling you about it. What have they told you? What's your secret?
Yeah, definitely. That was a learning curve this camp, especially, sweating more than I have while snapping. Really, it's about changing out your towels as often as you can. I'd say probably about every 5 or 10 plays, I get a new fresh towel because that thing gets soaking wet pretty soon.
Baby powder being used?
No baby powder yet. Talcum has been banned. Got to get that out of here.
I think for a backup lineman, like versatility is probably the best thing you can have. Is there a spot on the line that you can still say is your most natural spot where you're most comfortable right now?
I've played a lot of guard, so that's a comfortable spot. But really, anywhere that they see me as a piece to fit in is fantastic.
You said you've changed your body. What did you do in the off season? How have you approached that?
Yeah, I heard that quote from Bowles. That was very nice of him to say. But worked out here all off season, which was great because we have an amazing strength staff, really knowledgeable guys, and then also got a chance to stick around with some of the more veteran offensive linemen that were here over the off season, and that was instrumental in just kind of seeing a work ethic and setting a plan and sticking to it the entire time.
What did you change in terms of weight, strength, etc.?
Yeah, put on a few pounds. I was running a little bit light last year. Put on probably about 10 pounds, and I think my weight room numbers shot up pretty well. I think I'm set somewhere in the 15 to 20 range, but nothing.
The cerebral part of playing center, you got a lot of responsibility and communication. Does that help you when you go back to another position and guard or whatever, see it a little differently?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it forces you into a situation where you have to think about the plays holistically. I mean, when you're at guard, you sometimes can kind of think about just your responsibility, but at center, you have to really encompass the entire play, know all 11.
Line room is always kind of a different culture. We've heard a lot of talk about this group. What would you say about this group and the leaders and what they bring to the table?
Oh, I mean, incredible football players, but beyond that, incredible men. They're always fun to be around, and luckily I'm fortunate enough to be with them about 15 hours a day. So, but they're incredible. They're hilarious and really smart and driven guys.
It's got to be a good feeling, too, when the Bucs were able to run the ball like they did on Saturday night.
Yeah, no, that's an offensive lineman's creed. It's great.
Anything else? All right, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.